Hello everyone, this is Sonora. Today I'm going to show you all the things we bought from our little trip to Siliguri. We love shopping for pots and pot fillers like coco peat, perlite, coconut husk and stuff like that from there because their prices are relatively cheaper as compared to how and what it is here in Darjeeling, which again is totally understandable considering the distance and the terrain. We went all out with our terracotta shopping because my azaleas are in desperate need of repotting, and I'm also trying to replace all the plastic pots that we have around the house with terracotta, a ceramic, and we also bought a few things here and there, really random plants, and about 36 annuals. So I'm going to show you now, and I might get around to repotting a couple. So let's see how it goes. Here are some of the things we bought. First, my parents picked up this beautiful cardinal creeper which has a cluster of prettiest bright blooms, and ever since we had the chain link fencing installed, we have been on a lookout for creepers that flower and soften the entire look. For the same reason, we bought this red cascading rose. Not a fan of red roses, but this is a very deep and also the tiniest rose that I've ever seen. It's the size of a little coin. These kind of look like Ladybank's rose, but they have thorns. Next, I have this blue juniper, which is what I'm the most excited about because my landscape has been in desperate need of a blue color. And according to the landscape rules, you are supposed to have green, red, blue, and yellow in your landscape. The yellow is this chartreuse bougainvillea, which in my head is yellow for me. Lots of green, and the red is this Chinese fringe flower. And now I have this beautiful blue juniper, but I don't think I'll pop this into the landscape because I've had very hard luck with junipers, conifers, cypress, spruce in landscape. They just tend to die, so I think I'll put this in a bigger terracotta pot and plant a lot of pretty annuals around it. Next, we have two bougainvilleas. Look at this beautiful white with a hint of blush. This one is my favorite. And then there's this pink. We will plant them into containers and form them into a bonsai instead of letting them go wild in the landscape. Then we have Kalangoe or Kalancho, beautiful red blooms, and this random solitary marigold because the guy didn't have change, so he gave us this instead. And a lot of terracotta pots here and there. These are the tiny ones we got, and this is my favorite out of the entire lot, but unfortunately apparently the guy only had this much in stock, which is so sad. And again, about 36 annuals. It's a blend of stock, petunia and pansy, just in time for spring. And then now I'll show you my terracotta collection. But before that, take a look at this marigold. It's loving its life. It's December and still pushing out a lot of new buds. These attract butterflies and bumblebees, but surprisingly zero honeybees, which is a thing to keep in mind because we have started beekeeping since the past, I think, 2 weeks, and we've been very excited. And these are my terracotta pots. We got 6 ginormous ones and 12 medium-sized ones. These we've picked particularly for our azaleas because they have been sitting in these ugly black plastic containers, so I can't wait to get my hands on repotting these. Now I'm going to grab one of the medium-sized terracotta container and repot the blue juniper, and might also pick up a few annuals just for a pop of color. And since we only got one juniper, I cannot do an entryway container, so I think I am going to do one focal point single solitary container and place it somewhere around the gate, the entrance area. So let's see how it goes. I took the larger pot since the juniper's root ball was bigger than I expected, and I also wanted to make space for the pansies. I first mixed forest leaf compost with a bit of sand for drainage, then removed the juniper from its nursery container and gently teased the roots and soil before adding 4 pansies. So this is it, you guys. I ended up popping this here because there is a little gap between the maple and the dwarf cherry. These are going to take some time, at least some years, to fill in the gap. And the good thing about this is that this is in a container, which means I can move it anywhere, anytime I want. And again, it gets brief sunlight, which in my opinion is optimum for evergreens, because all of my evergreens have died except for the one I have over there. So this and the other one has survived because this is the back of the house. This was my shade garden, and look at how beautiful it looks with all the layers. So I have lots of green and variegated green and white of the spider plant, and this blue. I think it looks amazing, especially the light coming through the red Chinese fringe plant. And as you saw me, I planted only 4 pansies over here because they tend to get quite big, and this is it. I am going to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.